Buongiorno, good morning, everybody. We are here, I believe, this team, let's say a Kuwaiti team, to testify, to witness how, like Roberto Giovenco was saying, in the supply chain, the key of success is a good cooperation between an international contractor like Pizzarotti, with, in this case, with a major local partner like Alalia. The successful object that we have built together during these years from, let me say, 2016, the tender period, until today, because the project is going to be commissioned during these days. The key of this, the object of this success is the new maternity hospital in Kuwait. We cannot compare it to Florence Cathedral, but for us it's even better than Florence Cathedral. It's our cathedral in Kuwait, Pizzarotti and say cathedral in Kuwait. Today, together with me, there are Alessandro Tognato, that is our Brunelleschi, let me say, the director of the project in Kuwait, and Mr. Mahmoud Razouk and Ashraf Alhamdi, that are the leader of Alalia integrated company, that is our partner in MEP projects in the country, on this project, but also on a past project that we have done in Kuwait, the Al Amiri Hospital. In Kuwait, in fact, we have carried out so far 2 major projects during the recent 10 years. We started there in 2013, now in 2023, we have carried out two major projects. Let's say that this one, the second one, it's for us, for Pizzarotti, is more important because it's the one that we have done with the total leadership in terms of participation to the project, because the 100% of the share of the project is ours. Let me say that there is a film, a video, I believe, that probably we can display it's already displayed. Okay, sorry, it's already displayed, and I would like to let the stage to Alessandro Tognato for a technical and overall introduction of the project, and then, according to what has been decided in the agenda, there will be a little debate, a little discussion between us, aiming to let you understand, as I started, how a good cooperation is vital, is crucial for a big project like this. That is our proud. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fabrizio. If you allow me, I would take just a few minutes to give a brief presentation of the new maternity hospital in order to give a flavor to our audience of the extent and complexity of this project. The project is located on a land of approximately 52,000 square meters in Al Sabab Medical District in Kuwait City. The client is the Ministry of Public Work and the end user, Ministry of Health of Kuwait. The project comprises design, construction, equipping and furnishing of 4 main buildings, including some other supporting facilities, for an overall built-up area of about 360,000 square meters. And going a little more into detail, the project consists on the main hospital building, composed of a big basement, a 7-level podium, and 3 towers, with the tallest one reaching the 18th floor. There is then the annex building, including all the outpatient clinics, the auditorium, and administrative offices. There is then a multi-story car park for a total of 9 floors and more than 1,200 parking bays, going from the basement to the shaded parking roof. There is then the central utility plant, which is allocated on a separate plot and connected to the main hospital through an underground service tunnel. It accommodates a part of the heavy equipment like centrifugal chillers, diesel generators, cooling towers, steam boilers. We'll have then with our guest from Kuwait the possibility to dig a little deeper in this regard. We have then 4 pedestrian bridges connecting the new buildings to each other, as well as to the existing surrounding old hospital. Due to the location of the project, there is a seawall water breaker along the 320-meter shoreline. And finally, the external underground utilities network, soft, hard landscape, and internal roads all around the buildings. Of course, the hospital accommodates both medical department and service areas. Among the medical, we could mention the emergency at the ground floor, the radiology with 2 MRI machines, CT scan, angiography, X-ray equipment, and many others. There are the laboratories distributed over an area of more than 4,000 square meters, 3 pharmacies, 28 operating theater rooms, 80 intensive care and high dependency units, 240 neonatal ICU, it's a new maternity hospital, 60 labor and delivery rooms, 460 inpatient room, a morgue room, the clinics, as I said, in the annex building. And in addition to that, the hospital features a computer-controlled pneumatic transport system for the transport of solid and liquid sample, pharmaceutical solution, etc. Talking about the service areas, there are, among the others, the nutrition and food preparation area, covering more than 5,000 square meters, the laundry, the central sterile service department, the waste collection, again, by means of a computer-controlled pneumatic vacuum transport system, the auditorium, many offices, meeting rooms, classrooms. And of course, the overall MEP system is equally complex. The HVAC system is based on 11 kV centrifugal chillers. There are cooling towers, dedicated mechanical areas at different floors over the buildings, accommodating almost 140 air handling units. We have then water, steam system, many kilometers of plumbing and firefighting pipes, kilometers of cable, 100% diesel generators backup for a total number of 26 diesel generators, and then we'll see together the size of this equipment, and associated 800 cubic meter underground fuel storage tanks. We have then a centralized and standalone UPS. There is a building management system and an integrated service system. A number of low voltage systems, both medical and non-medical, control rooms, 2 data centers rooms, a photovoltaic system, and many others. Then I don't want to bother and bore too much the audience, just a few other key numbers to give you really the extent of this project. Cubic meter of cast in situ concrete cast, 300,000, 46,000 tons of steel bar reinforcement, and that without including the precast element, which were anyway heavily used in the structural works. The total facade area development of almost 100,000 square meters. The total gypsum partition, half a square kilometer. 65 elevators, 8 moving works, and we could go on actually with many other items related to many other trades. But I think this is enough to have a feeling of what we went through at maternity.
We can introduce the scope of work of our partner here, Alia, and let them tell us about their experience with Pizzarotti from the technical point of view, but also from the personal point of view, let's say.
Yeah, I will go historical a little, and just to entertain the gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here on those with those shiny faces, really. That people, they say dreams never come through, but actually with this project, with the cooperation with Pizzarotti, the dreams are coming through. I'll just recall a phone call from someone in 2016, I believe in September, It was Tuesday, and this gentleman told me, "Hello, is this Mr. Mahmoud?" I said, "Yes, how can I help you?" He said, "I'm Fabrizio Rigomonti, international in charge for Pizzarotti." "Yes, sir, how I can help you?" And we were already doing a project, it's called Al-Amiri Hospital. He said, "We have a tender to submit next Tuesday. It's called New Maternity Hospital, and we need your bid for the MEP works." I said, "Well, it's a very short time, but be sure that we'll do our best to give you the price." And because of that phone call, we are sitting here now. Simply, that simple phone call. We gave them the quotation, and it took almost 1.5 years to sign the contract. And then we sat with Mr. Lironzo Zebra, I believe. It took me 9 hours, 15 minutes to agree with him on the price. I entered the meeting 2 o'clock afternoon, and I left Olympia building 11:15 before midnight. We shake hands, and I say good night. And we had pizza for dinner. I invited him for pizza that day.
Thank you.
And from there, we started scratch. So I keep saying, always dreams come through when we push for it. I'm going to talk more sentimental than technical and see where we are reaching. We are reaching, and we are sitting here explaining to the gentlemen, all of them, how did we succeed? It is so simple. I recall that Kennedy, late Kennedy, he came to NASA, and he saw someone whipping the ground. And he said, "Hey, what you are doing?" He said, "I'm helping a man to go to the moon." See how the chain is? Everybody in this project was proud to be part of the project. The success, what we achieved, is because of the understanding of all the team. Of course, we have our fights from time to another, and still we have some fights, but end of the day, we are today celebrating. Within a couple of days, we will hand over that project, which contains the most intelligent, sophisticated systems in Kuwait hospital, which is called New Maternity Hospital. I'm going to leave the technicalities for my colleague Ashraf. He has done a great job, and he was always supportive to the whole team, knowing the rules and regulations in Kuwait. Thank you. We hope that we are going to shake hands. Thank you, gentlemen, all of you. Fabrizio, Alessandro, Zebra, he's not there also. Hopefully, soon, we will get another chance to shake hands together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, G. Mahmoud, for. I will start with our relation with Pizzarotti. They started with Amiri Hospital. It was really around the size half of this hospital as a area, but we did really good communication during this period with Pizzarotti. We start the trust from there, as we was HVAC subcontractor, only HVAC, and we starting to build our relation with Pizzarotti. From that day, it was 2015. We starting almost 2015. During this trust, they see that how we are professional and how to deal with a European main contractor. It is a few main contractor coming from Europe during this period in Kuwait. And we found each other to have a good communication and understanding each other with the technical, with the part of the design and build project, because mostly the maternity and the Amiri Hospital is designed and built project, which is a big challenge to have construction during the design stage. We starting the execution and the skeleton concrete casting during the design period, which is really big challenge to have all MEP surfaces access to be considered during the casting of concrete of the retaining wall, which is mostly around 50, 60 centimeter depths this wall around all project, and we take the responsibility as we are aware by the all regulations and the access from outside the landscape to the internal building. And we started from that day to build a trust. During the design, we already passed all design as per the regulation, as per the standard and the code, which is a high standard for the hospital, is the FGI, is the American standard to build and to design the hospital. And after that, during the executions, we started the executions for the first duct. It was 2019 in the November. And we finished around 3,500 ton duct installation within 1.5 years. 1.5 years we completed. We already managed ourselves to be following the construction up to the level 18. From that day, 2020, it was a pandemic of the COVID. We have a challenge to reach the all equipment, which is around more than 75 million euro, the equipment, only the equipment, to have a chip and installed in the site during the COVID even.
Yes, in fact, sorry, Ashraf, you mentioned COVID. Yes, during those years, it was not only a dream to work together, like Mahmoud said. There were also major problems during the COVID period, the lockdown of the country, etc. But together, and this is an example of good cooperation, I believe we have managed, especially with Alessandro and you on site every day, we have managed the supply chain, the lack of manpower,
yes,
the lockdown
yes,
imposed by the public authorities, and maybe Alessandro, you can help to comment on these challenges.
Yeah, we had both internal challenges, which were part of the project, like as we already highlighted, the size of the project. Then it's a design and build project, so we went through all the design phases to move then to the engineering phase during the construction. BIM helped us a lot in this regard, since the first phase of the design, the concept, then we went through schematic, development, and final. And then moving on through the shop drawings phase up to the as-built drawings. And always BIM supported us, particularly to manage the most congested areas as the shaft, the main distribution along the corridors of the hospital. Because as we said, in a design and build, a key point is overlapping the design and the construction phase. And by the way, it was not easy to make our client and the client representative understand that we couldn't wait for all the trades to be fully coordinated before starting the structural works. And that's where we put in place some measure agreed with the client, some prerequisite drawings through the help and support of the BIM in order to be able to size and finalize those critical areas in order to progress with the works. I'd like also to highlight among the challenges the multi-ethnic environment we work in. We are an example here on the stage, but actually many others, people from many other countries took part during the work. And
yes, we had almost 20 nationalities on site, so it was, of course, the common language was English, but not for everybody. So it was also
in the peak
not easy, a big challenge to manage 20 nationalities all together on the project.
Yeah, in the peak was 3,000, more than 3,000 people was in the site.
We had 3,000 workers.
And we could actually have accommodated even more people, but as we said, because of COVID and the consequent shortage of manpower due to a block visa put in place by the country during that critical time, we couldn't even push beyond the 3,000, which is anyway a significant number of people to be coordinated and managed on site. Again, people literally from all over the world, but yet through a very detail, daily planning, weekly planning, even monthly look-ahead planning. We managed to coordinate all these people. We navigated the pandemic time. Many measures were to be taken in place. Transportation was a big problem, but we managed somehow to cope with that in order to resume the work after a full stop that forced us really to completely stop the works for more than 1 month. And stopping such a big machine, I mean, it's really impacting. It's not easy then to resume the activity in an efficient way.
Let me say that today our partners here, they represent, in my mind, you are the ambassador of all the partners that we had in Kuwait so far. We could not invite everybody. We have chosen what we consider the best, let me say.
Thank you.
So you have a big role today. You have to go back to Kuwait, being the ambassador of Kuwait at Pizzarotti.
Yeah, sure. We are always there. We are always to support. I recall during the pandemic and the curfew that Ashraf was issuing some passing cards, which he did for me as well, which says simply that he's working in a project called New Maternity Hospital. Wherever he goes on the checking points, he was passing. He was eager on a daily basis to be on the project and not to leave the project for one single day, which is a very good achievement and dedication. I really appreciate that. Now, the whole team, they were cooperative to a limit. Nobody was expecting that the project will come to an end within this period, really. We lost a lot of days, and the challenges were so big. Now, maybe Ashraf can tell us about the challenges for the lead items, what we are facing because of the pandemic and because of the chips issue. Everybody knows about it. Maybe he can just give us a brief about that.
Let us consider this project. If I said to you or tell you about how much kilometer of the cable, how much thousands points, we have a 27,000 points as a data point. This is just a data point. We have more than 45,000 light fixtures inside the buildings. How to manage the transportation and the logistic for this number of quantity, maybe 3 or 4 factories is involved to be distributing our equipment and the material. Also, I remember that it was a big challenge to have most of the equipment in 2020, and we achieved around more than 60 million euro achievement revenue in that year, which was really amazing number to have in the payment, in our payment to support the cash flow for the project to build and continuous with our progress in the site. I remember it was a challenge, and Fabrizio bought this number to Engineer Mahmoud, and we achieved it in the end. And still we have one bonus for that, Mr. Fabrizio. You remember?
I'd like to go back for a while to the operational activities on site. We mentioned just a few numbers about the quantities we dealt with during the project, not just, by the way, for the MEP, but the medical items were more than 50,000. Furniture items, almost 30,000. So really, we dealt with hundreds of thousands of items, huge quantities. We had, unfortunately, a limited logistic and storage area available on site. So that was an additional challenge, because actually we needed both to progress physically with the works and to be able, by the way, to claim and certify with our client the material once ready and delivered to Kuwait. So we put in place special arrangements for the heavy equipment, of course, with the special scaffolding platform. We finalize routes all over the hospital in order to reach the final location. And on top of that, anyway, we tightly coordinated, I would say, room by room, and here we are talking about overall more than 10,000 rooms anyway, in order to coordinate the civil works with the MEP works, and finally with the medical and furniture, in order to be able to receiving and distributing straight away the material to the final location. It required a lot of effort by all parties, but I think we managed to succeed in this regard, and what we achieved, I think it's, under this point of view, quite remarkable and not so common, by the way, if we look at the other similar project in Kuwait.
I just want to mention something. During testing commissioning this project, if any companies can come and make testing commissioning for the huge project, at least they need 1 year. We finish all the testing commissioning part by part, starting from the chiller, the huge chiller, 3,000 ton, up to the testing all low voltage system, audiovisual, CCTV, infant protections. We didn't mention about infant protection. We have a tracking infant protection system, which is the first one in the Kuwait and the Gulf area installed and commissioned. All this system during not more than 5 months. We finished all the test commission and we handed over to the consultant and the client. And I think today it was the day.
No, congratulations.
It's over, really. Today we completed the very last low voltage system testing commission. Really, we really have to thank Alalia in this regard because it's been a very, very tight schedule for the testing commissioning for such a project. And today we can say that it's completed 100%. It's over. So that's another great achievement.
So we hope that this witness, this testify by the four of us, has been enough to display that indeed a good cooperation leads to good result and to good projects completed and achieved. The building is finished, is there. We can visit it anytime. Everybody is invited. The countdown here is saying that we have only 7 minutes. Maybe if we have some questions.
No, I'd like just to recall a slide we saw just a few minutes ago, projected by Roberto, about a sandstorm. We should always bear in mind that we work in Kuwait. In Kuwait, really, the weather is extreme. During summertime, temperature is really scorching, sometimes above the 50 degrees, and we actually physically experience that kind of sandstorm. So that was another challenge above all the others.
Yeah, with all respect, but now Italy is not too much different.
We are getting closer, you're right.
I've landed 2 days back, day before yesterday. It was horrible, no? It was very hot.
Better
really.
Kuwait.
You are right, you're right.
Okay, if there is any question, any specific query, we can answer. Otherwise, thank you very much for your patience.
Just to end, I'd like to really just two main factors that as a Pizzarotti we appreciated about Alalia. First of all, since the beginning, the feeling of its full commitment to fulfill your contractual scope of work and contractual obligation. Even more important, I would say, your continuous focus on what is needed for the project from time to time to progress. We know construction progress are very complex, many issues all along the way to cope with, to solve. And really, sometimes from not all the stakeholders, you can get this kind of support, this kind of mindset, which actually was always there in Alalia, and I think it's been the key of our, successful cooperation.
It was an honor working with Pizzarotti for sure. Now I'll just go back to refreshing everybody's memory. Al Ahliya is part of a group of Fuad Al Ghanem group of companies owned by Al Ghanim International, which is a very big competitor to Pizzarotti as a main contractor in the market. And in spite of that, all such challenges, they win the project, and we shake hands with them, and we executed the project, which was an honor for us, really. You were very cooperative. Maybe from sometimes to times you were very angry. Yes, we understand that. It's the nature of the work. Now, at the end of the day, we delivered together, and it's a winning-winning situation, as our colleague was explaining the lecture before us. And we are looking forward for more cooperation. We are always there. It is our actually principles. If we are committed to something, it has to be done. It has to be finished. This is the nature of our group. So we cannot just turn our back and run. And you can recall a lot of incidents in the projects.
We share the same value, so whenever Al Ghanim Group will come to work in Italy, we will reciprocate.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you for your attention. Thank you.